Hello everybody, this is Gosia. Welcome to Seven Oaks Senior Center Facebook Live Cooking with Gosia. Today we'll make gołąbki, which is traditional Polish dish. I'm originally from Poland. Right now I'm a student at UMBC. I'm senior, graduating this semester, and I'm doing my internship at Seven Oaks Senior Center in Perry Hall. And this allows me to share my Polish experience with you. On Monday we made chruściki, and today we'll make gołąbki. I posted the recipe and ingredients. So I'm ready with my ingredients, but we have to wilt the cabbage. So those of you who are cooking along with me, we asked earlier to have boiling water ready so you can drop your cabbage in. So what you have to do, you have to take out the not nice leaves of the cabbage and trash them, and then cut the core a little bit so it's clean. And then what I'm doing, I'm going into around the core. I'll try to cut it out, but I will leave the core in just to cut the cabbage leaves off. So I'm just going deep into the cabbage, to as close to the core as possible. That will be easier for us to take the leaves out when they'll be soft enough. We want to wilt the leaves so we can wrap meat around them so they are soft and flexible. Okay, you see some leaves are already falling, but we have to drop the cabbage into the water. Usually I just put the cabbage first and then the water starts heating up, but today because of time we have to do it a little bit differently. So here's my pot. I just have to be really careful so I don't get burned. Okay, that's good. I'll turn it upside down. So it looks like my cabbage is growing in the pot. And now just cover it. I'll wait a little bit until it starts boiling, and then I will just leave it simmering. I will come back in a minute or two and take a few leaves off, which already should be falling off the cabbage head. Okay, so now I can get rid of this. I can trash things I don't need from the cabbage. And let me wipe my counter so it's nice and clean. We also have to, if you use butter, you saute onions. If you use oil, which I will use, I will just a little bit fry the onions. My onions are already pre-cut. I chop them. So let me walk by here and turn my stove on. And I'll just drop my onions to my skillet. I already placed oil in. And just to let you know, today I'm just making half of the batch from the recipe which I posted on Facebook. And at the end you will find out why. So this will give me about 12 pieces of gołąbki. I'll let this thing warm up. This is still not boiling. Let me put it on higher heat. I will turn the light on so it's more visible. I won't turn my fan on. We can survive without the fan, it will be too noisy. Okay, the cabbage is boiling, so let me lower the heat. I'll see that in a second. So now, I'm cooking straight from meat I bought in a store. Sometimes, actually more often, I just buy a piece of meat and I grind it myself. I think it's better. So let me open the meat. And my recipe calls for 3 pounds of ground meat. Since I'm making half of the batch from the recipe, I would just use like 1 pound of beef and half a pound of chicken meat. Let me see the cabbage and my onions. We fry it so it's not like over fried. It should be just like golden brown, golden yellow. This cabbage is cooking too high. Let's see what's happening in the pot. You see, like the first leaves are. Let me grab a fork. So you can turn around the cabbage. You see, like leaves are falling off, so that's a good sign. But they are still a little bit stiff, so we'll leave them in. Okay, let me turn that back the other way. Since the bottom of the cabbage is harder, let me set it there. I usually make 2 cabbage heads, so then I use like bigger pot, but today I'm just using one, so this is perfect for me to use. Let me cover that. This starts to fry. As I said, gołąbki are traditional Polish dish. Most of you who heard about Polish food, one of the things you know is gołąbki, the other is pierogi and sausage. That's like the most famous food everyone knows. You can make the stuffing for gołąbki. This is like traditional, but you can substitute ingredients. My daughter is vegan, so sometimes we make vegan ones. We make them with rice and mushrooms, and everything else is the same. That's just what goes inside. Sometimes people use barley and mushrooms for Vigilia, which is traditional Christmas Eve dinner where we eat where we don't eat meat. We make gołąbki with barley and mushrooms, and instead of tomato sauce, we make mushroom sauce, which is like really, really delicious. So we can put the meat in our bowl. And I'll just use half of my chicken. When I was making them yesterday from the other half, I made like cutlets, which were delicious for dinner. I won't need that anymore. Let me wash my hands after touching the meat. Check on my onions again. Start to get messy here, but that's okay. Okay, I think we can start pulling the leaves. When we pull the leaves, they have to cool down because you have to cut the vein out of the outer part of the leaf. See how soft they are? Now we can wrap things around that leaf. Another one, and you don't want to overcook them. You see how soft they are, but not overcooked. It's better to just prepare your cabbage ahead of time, so it's cool when you start mixing meat. The cabbage should be like cooled and the veins should be cut off, so you just don't burn yourself. Okay, a little bit longer for the onions. Let me cover that, and now I will put some paper towels here to drain the excess of water from my cabbage leaves. What I usually do when I make it, I cover my counter with film, with plastic film, and I just work on that surface, so then I don't have all the mess to clean up. But also I usually make more of them than what I'm making today. So today will be easy. Usually people think it's a very hard thing to do, and it's really not. It's pretty simple, just putting ingredients together, mixing, then you bake the tray of your gołąbki, you wrap, you bake, take out of the oven, you make a sauce, tomato sauce, and you put it in, or you can put your sauce on the top of gołąbek when you serve it. People like it different ways. And also just something interesting, when we say gołąbki, it's already plural, so we don't have to say gołąbkis. It's true, same true about pierogi. Pierogi is already plural. One is pieróg, more than one is pierogi, so we don't add the S at the end. That's just for your information. Okay, let me check again here. Looking good? Okay. More leaves are ready. See how they fall off the cabbage. And another one is here. It depends on the size of the cabbage. You need like medium to large head of cabbage. And I would also recommend to buy a little bit more of what you need, because you never know, the leaves might be so small, like you unwrap like 2 or 3 leaves and then the rest is so tiny. And it's also helpful if the cabbage the leaves are looser, not like very tightly packed. It just makes it easier to take it off. Okay, we'll leave the rest. I'll probably just go for like 12, 14 leaves. Let me cover that. We can cool another 2 leaves. So, where's my knife? Here. So what we do with the leaves, to make them even more flexible, we cut off that hard part, which is called the vein, as thin as possible, so you can bend the leaf all the way. Let me do that. Oh, these are already cool. See how nice and green the leaves are. See how nice the leaves are. Okay, so like I will show you this here. You just go very close to the surface. Just be careful to not cut yourself. Okay, we have 4 down. I have to constantly check and mix my onion so it doesn't get too burnt. I think it looks good, so I'll just turn it off. Let's see what's going on here. It's boiling a lot, so let's lower the heat a little bit. And I think we can pull another 2 leaves at least. Those leaves are pretty nice today. And I have another one. Okay. Let me check. Let me just try to pull some off. To help cook faster. Sometimes you might have to use knife again if the leaf is still stuck to your cabbage root. Core. Okay, we have another 3 leaves here to cool down. I love this beautiful green color. We can put ingredients together since we have our onions done. So I'm using a little bit of garlic. I already minced it. I'll use the onions, but not everything. I'll leave about like 1/3 for my tomato sauce. So I'll just dump this in here. And then we need egg. I'm just using 1 egg today. The recipe, when it's doubled, it calls for 3 eggs. But since I can't use 1.5, I'll just use 1. 1 is okay. I'm washing my hands again. Now I'm adding salt. I really don't have a measurement. I cook a lot and I usually don't measure how much salt, so it's just like I think it will be good. It usually works. And it's better when it's not over salted, because then you cannot do anything. Once your gołąbki are baked, you can pull one out and you can check if they are salty enough. If not, then you add more salt to your sauce and that will evens it out. Okay, some pepper, and that's it. But I have to wait for the rest of my leaves because I don't want to wash my hands in between. So we have 7 leaves now. I'll do these. You have to be careful so you don't make holes in your cabbage, like especially in the middle. I almost did, because then it's very difficult to wrap them. It will fall apart. Seven. In the meantime, you can get ready with a pan to place your gołąbki when they are wrapped. Let's see what's going on with the cabbage. Yeah, the biggest thing is cabbage. I usually have cabbage done. It sits for about probably an hour to cool down. I cut the core and then I'm starting mixing my meat. But today we have to show you everything here, so that's why I have to run from place to place. 9. Okay, look at this leaf. This leaf was on top of this one. So this is so small and this is so huge. Surprise. Another one is pretty big too. You just pull them off the head and they will just simmer a little bit. I think I need a knife. Something is still stuck here. And you can always run into problems when you're cooking. It depends what you're cooking. Like me right now, not all the leaves are cut through of the core. Just like I ran out into problem with chruściki I made last Monday. I had too much flour. When I converted 400 grams into cups, it was too much of a flour. So I will post different recipes and I'll post this one, also the one I used but with less flour. And when we finish the Facebook Live, I actually, with the same piece of dough, I just use my rolling pin to flatten it a little bit, and then I use the mixer attachment for pasta, and I made the dough really thin, and I fried like 3 more rounds of chruściki, and they were like falling apart, like very soft. Okay, we have 2 leaves now. You can finish them again. See, it's like getting a little bit messy, like mostly water around because of the cabbage. Oh, they are warm, still too warm. Okay. Count a little bit. I love clean, so when something is lying on my counter, I'm not very happy. Okay, this is getting ready. Okay, this will get ready in like maybe 2-3 minutes. So now I will go and mix my meat. So we don't have to wait. Let me wipe dry my hands. I usually use gloves when I have to work with messy meat. So I will use glove on my one hand to mix it. Then when I will wrap them, I will not, but for mixing part, yes. So you have to make sure you mix your rice and your meats and everything else what's here very well. It's very easy to mix. And just like one hint, when you cook your rice, for gołąbki are usually don't follow like recipe on a box. It depends how people like to cook rice, but like I cook my rice like I would cook pasta. So it's like swimming in the water and then I rinse it. I drain it and I rinse it. So like the rice is like falling apart. You want to make sure it's very well mixed because you have like garlic there. You don't want like one piece of meat have all your garlic in. And you can use more rice, less rice. I like it with a little bit more rice from what recipe called. You see how it looks? I hear my cabbage boiling hard. I have to recognize somebody who's helping me here. My significant other, Michael, is behind the camera recording. That's why you can see everything. You can't see him, but you see me and everything else what I'm doing. Okay, I think this is pretty much well mixed. What do you think? I think yes. Looks good to me. Okay, so we have the meat ready, the stuffing ready. Now I'll take off my glove and trash it. Magic, my hands are clean. Let me pull the rest of the leaves. I love the first few leaves when they are still like green. They look so beautiful. Okay, I pulled a little bit more than I need, but that's okay. I can turn off my stove now. On the side here, so we have space for those. Hot. Let them rest a little bit before I touch them. So I think we have about 12 or 13 leaves, maybe even more. Maybe I lost the count. Okay, I'll try to cut them. Cut off the vein. It's hot. That's why you don't want to do it when it's hot, to not burn your hands. I know we should have play Polish music in the background, but there was no time for that, maybe for the next class. Okay, the leaves are getting cooler, so that's good. Okay. Now I will clean this up and wipe my counter. Dry it. I don't need that plate anymore. So now we'll start wrapping. So this will be my pan, I'll place them in. So you take a leaf. This is outside, this is inside, so you want to put your mixture inside of your leaf. You take like, it depends how big the leaves are. For the bigger one, I'll put more meat, so I use all my meat. But also if you have leftover meat, and perhaps if you have like red pepper, green pepper or orange pepper, you can make stuffed pepper with this mixture. So you just put the meat, that mixture into you cut the top of the pepper when the core is, take out the core and all the seeds, you put the meat and you set your peppers in the pot, you put some water with salt and you just boil them and they are very good. So we make a bowl of meat and then we put it side, cover it, flip it like that, cover it, and it's closed. And then we set it in the pan. I wrapped so many gołąbki in my life. When we have Polish festival at Sacred Heart of Mary, I always go there and wrap like 600 gołąbki one night, but I'm just wrapping them. I'm not doing anything else, so it's not that hard. Okay, another one. That was big my sleeve. The sleeve has holes, but won't bother us. And another one. Oh, my little assistant came here. Dog named Dandy. Guess she was thirsty. She just had a drink of water and she left. And I like to put them like nicely and even so everything looks great. See how big this leaf is. But my next row will be like very small. If you know that you want to make, let's say from my recipe, 24 pieces, you can divide your stuffing into 24 even portions. So then each gołąbek will be same size. Which is important when you sell them at the events because each person want to have the same size of food, same size portion they purchase. But at home, it doesn't matter. Okay. So now we're going to the second row. And I usually use like bigger pan, like double size too. So now I'm using less meat because the leaves are smaller. This one is very big. That's okay, we can handle it. So we need 3 more. Let me find the nicest. 1, 2, and 3, I think. My mom lives in Poland and she's watching me live now. Maybe my mom can learn something from me. In Polish, to say hi, I will say hi to my mom in Polish. Cześć, mama! Probably my brothers watch too. They are all in Poland. Okay. And 2 more. Yes, perfect. So I'll use all the meat. I like to use all the meat so I don't have to have any leftovers. And the last one. The leaf is a little bit small, but we'll make it work. Everything can be done. There's no impossible things. Okay, so we got the tray filled up. And it looks like that. Let me go and wash my hands. Okay, so our next step is mixing chicken stock and beef stock, or chicken broth and beef broth together, and we need to fill the pan a little bit with it so it bakes in the juice. I already used some of it, and I add a little bit salt so it's just right for the taste, and you just pour in. You can make your own broth. I just filled it like half a pan, because then when it starts cooking it might overflow. And I will cover that with aluminum foil. Tightly. And we'll bake it in 380 degrees for about, I'll say small pan like that, hour to hour and a half. We want to make sure they are hot and cooked throughout in a pan. You can check the temperature, what they should be. If you use beef, when you use chicken meat, then you need 180 degrees inside of your gołąbek. So we'll check, and now the reason why I just used half of my recipe batch size is because I made them yesterday and they are baking in my oven, because I wanted to show you the finished product and how to make a sauce next. So now I will walk to my oven, I will pull my gołąbki, the ready ones, and I'll put this one in. Switch pans. Okay, they look awesome. Let's check the temp. Yes, it's going over. Yeah, it's 190. Okay. So the next step is the sauce. The sauce we'll make from tomato paste and juice here, and we can still use more the rest of our broth. It depends how much sauce you will need, and I will make sauce for both of my pans. So I have a pot here. I'll put my tomato paste in. Oh, that's not stuck. That's not good. Just be careful with the cans, or the lids especially. So I'll take the paste out into my pot. One, and then the other one. It's not my favorite thing to do, as you can tell. Okay. Let me wipe my hand. Then we drain the juice from the pan which just cooked. I think that might be not too hot anymore, so I just put that juice because it's flavorful. Okay, just be careful, don't dump your ready gołąbki into the pot. And I will add some garlic. And then when we'll cook it, we'll make sure it's salty enough, so I'll have to taste it. I will add the rest of my broth. And we'll go to the stove now. I'll use this one here. The stove is messy from frying the onion. Put it up here, and then I have my whisk. Let's whisk it a little bit. To the sauce, I'll use flour to make it thicker. Flour and water. I'll show you how to do it. I think I'll make more sauce. I'll use all of the broth because I will not have the broth from my second batch until it's done. So I'll just use the leftover I have here. And the whole recipe called for 1 and 1, so it will be still good. Plus you can always adjust. And you even don't have to make sauce the way I'm making. You can make your own favorite sauce you like. Homemade from fresh tomatoes. Okay, let's cover this. And let's wait for it to start cooking. Looking from my lid. Okay. So now we'll have to just wait a little bit until this starts boiling, and I will make the mixture of flour and water to thicken the sauce. In the meantime, when we wait, I would like you to remember to check our Facebook page from time to time, or every day, or a few times a day, because now when everyone is sitting home, we offer so many different classes and activities online, Facebook Live. So that would be great for you to participate as many as possible. And I would also like to thank Seven Oaks for hosting me, for giving me the opportunity to be with you, to show the cooking, show the Polish cooking. I'm really grateful. So thank you. And let's try to make the good sauce. I will take a cup, little glass. The flour mixture, when you add flour, I think recipe calls for like 3 tablespoons, and I'm using, I'll use this one. We don't have to use all of it. So you take flour and you add a little bit water, cold water, and you mix it. And when you have like perfect, like thinner paste, then you add more water, so it's not too thick, but not too liquidy. And then you will put it to when your sauce will boil, then you will put it to your sauce and it will make it thicker. You really don't want to have like big crumbs of flour not mixed. So it should be as smooth as possible. And it's doable. I can tell you this, my mom probably makes fun of me now because I had that problem all life long. I always mix the other way, not to the right, like the clockwise, but to the left. And she never liked that. But it's just comfortable for me. Some people believe when you mix the other way, things are not coming right. Things are not coming out right, but it's not the case with me. Okay, so you see it looks like pancake batter. I will put more water. Let's check on this here. And tomato sauce, when it boils, it splatters, so you have to be careful to not get splattered all over. It's very close to boiling. I can actually cover this so it doesn't dry. And you can spice your sauce. You can add salt, you can add pepper. That's what I will do. Let me just taste it first. See how nice it is. It's actually salty, so we'll just add some pepper. I have that thick, coarse black pepper. Okay. It's almost boiling. When it starts to boil, we'll pour this, not everything, I'll see how thick it will become. And then everything will be ready to eat. Okay, you can add this. Let me add some, and then let's wait until it boils again so we can check the thickness. First personally, I don't like the sauce when it's too thick. And I love when my gołąbki soak in that sauce. So what I usually do, I add the sauce to the pan and bake for a few more minutes together with it, but it doesn't have to be done that way. It just can be, since they are ready, we can just put one on a plate or two and then put the sauce over. And we'll show you both ways. Okay, let it simmer for like a minute. See, it's nice. Not too big. And it won't stick to the pan, so you don't have to worry about it. Oh, actually, what I forgot to add is onions. I should add onions to it too, because I added my garlic at the beginning. That's why I left the onions. But we'll add it now. See, like, onion was standing here and I forgot about it. That happens. But I can fix anything. Okay. So I'll take a plate. Nice blue plate. Roll them out. This is simmering, so that's good. It's done. So now I can take it to my gołąbki and pour over them. I like a lot of sauce, but some people don't, so it's up to you how much you can put on your plate. And that's what I'm usually doing. I'm just putting my sauce, pouring it over into my pan, and just stick my pan into the oven for another 15 minutes. So I cover back and I'll put them in the oven. Okay, now I have 2 pans, lots of food. And that's how it looks. Let us cut through. And that's how it looks. Smacznego. I hope you enjoyed the class. I hope you will try that recipe. I'll post the directions. On the Facebook page, and I will also post recipes for chruściki with that little adjustment from Monday, that I'm trying to put them into one file and have like few together for you. Again, thank you very much for watching me. Michael, thank you very much for helping. And please tune up to Facebook page and see us again. On Friday, I'll be making Polish style salad from cooked vegetables. So wait for, see our page for the ingredients later today. Thank you very much. Bye everybody. Do widzenia.